Let's make Wilbur proud.
Suck it, green boy! Green shit, you stupid bitch! Sam.
Ayo, Dream Dsmp headcanons. I have a book so I don't forget them. Dream isn't real at all. He's the embodiment of the server and just lives in everyone's head. Puffy was in an all-women's pirate crew before the SMP. George's mom or parents were some kind of like wood spirits, and that's why he's so interested in mushrooms. Nikki braids all the boys' hair before syndicate meetings. She puts flowers in Techno's hair and he saves all of them. Nikki and Rambo take turns bringing food to syndicate meetings. Rambo always forgets when it's his turn and he has to run back up to his house to get it. Techno brought a cake to a meeting one time and it tasted terrible. Nikki taught him how to make a cake, and when he finally made one that tasted good, he was so excited that he made one for every single meeting after that. Phil and Rambo used to joke about how Techno's cakes were getting better than Nikki's, so now they have bake-off contests. Rambo was taking care of Michael one time and forgot he had a syndicate meeting, so he just brought Michael to the meeting, and then they accidentally added him to the syndicate, and they can't let Tubbo know or else he'll freak out. I'll make a part 2! Dream Dsmp headcanons part 2. Tubbo makes dream catchers for Tommy. Tommy was taking care of Michael one time. Michael was having a bad dream, so Tommy gave him one of the dream catchers. Tommy wanted the dream catcher back, but Michael wouldn't give it to him. Tommy stole it back. Michael cried. Tommy felt bad, gave it back. Tubbo saw Michael carrying it around and thought that it was really sweet that Tommy gave Michael one of his dream catchers. Tommy was babysitting Michael one time, and Michael fell asleep on top of Tommy. Tubbo and Rambo found them asleep, and Tubbo wanted to carry them back to their rooms. Rambo said that Tommy probably wouldn't want him carrying him, so Tubbo tried to pick Tommy up, but he couldn't. So Rambo had to pick Tommy up and tried really hard not to wake him up, or else Tommy would freak out that Rambo was carrying him. I'll make a part 3, I have so many. Dream Dsmp headcanons part 3! These are so fun, guys, you don't even understand. Tubbo headbutts people to show affection. Michael picked up on it, and sometimes he just runs full speed across the room and like hits someone with his head. Michael did that to Techno one time and he just bounced off. It scared Michael and he started crying, and Techno like panicked because he didn't know what to do. Phil came in and picked up Michael and said, "It's okay, I've raised 3 boys. I got it." Once Techno got fond of Michael, he started calling him Little King. For Michael's birthday, Techno got him a maxed out netherite sword, and Rambo and Tubbo both freaked out and were like, "No, you can't give that to him." So Techno got him a little netherite shovel instead, and he held on to the sword until Michael's old enough to give it to him. Techno only used gold armor until he met Phil, and then Phil taught him about netherite. Phil's wings are super messed up from sheltering his kids with them all the time. Nikki asks Techno if she can braid his hair when she's nervous because it makes her feel better. Techno would never admit it, but he loves it when she does that. We're used to braid Techno's hair, and that's why he treats Nikki like a sister, because it reminds him of Wilbur now. Dream Dsmp headcanons part 4? When Foolish and Dream were younger, they would fight over who was Puffy's favorite. When Puffy renounced Dream as her duckling, Foolish came and joked about how he knew that he was always her favorite. Puffy writes letters to both of her sons, and Dream writes letters to Puffy, but they both just burn them and don't send them. Foolish is crazy mad at how sad Dream made Puffy, so he's gonna go give it to Dream next time he sees it. Foolish built a pond and put little ducklings in it at his summer home for Puffy. Phil, Sam, and Puffy meet up for coffee and talk about being the parents of the SMP. They always joke about who messed up Tommy the most. Sam and Puffy always team up on Phil when that happens. They talk about parenting tips, and Phil's like, I just let them all out in the yard with swords, and Puffy and Sam are like, oh, that makes sense. Okay, one more part. There's just one more, I swear. There's one last one, I swear. Dream Dsmp headcanons part 5. When Techno's presenting or like talking at syndicate meetings, he'll sometimes just start rambling about mythology. All of the syndicate members joke about how they always run over on time because Techno won't stop rambling about mythology. Rambo fell asleep while Techno was talking one time, and Techno and Neki left, but Phil stayed there because he didn't want Rambo to wake up and have forgotten why he was there. Phil keeps notes for Rambo at syndicate meetings. Phil's handwriting is terrible. Nikki secretly took over writing notes for Rambo without letting Phil know because she didn't want him to feel bad that his handwriting was bad. Phil's first language is Ender Table, and he and Rambo pass notes during syndicate meetings. Nikki draws on the notes that she makes for Rambo, and Rambo hangs them up in his house because he likes her drawings. Phil knows that Techno doesn't like to talk about his feelings, so he asks Techno to talk about mythology whenever he knows that Techno's in a bad place. Techno's stories always reflect how he's actually feeling. Phil gave Rambo some of Tommy's old clothes for Michael. Tiny, short little part 6 of Dream Dsmp headcanons. I know I said one last part. This will be short, I'm sorry. Sam can't have biological kids because of the creeper hybrid that he is, and that's why he so eagerly just takes in all of the kids on the server. Side notes about the coffee dates that Phil, Puffy, and Sam have from one of my other videos. When Phil sits, he kind of slumps so that his wings get comfy. Sam has excellent posture, and Puffy sits with her feet on the table. At these coffee dates, Phil gets tea, Sam gets black coffee, and Puffy gets one of those fancy Starbucks drinks. That's all for now. Tell me your headcanons. They're really fun to talk about. Okay, wait, sorry. I have another one. Quackity has wings, so whenever he sees somebody that he's really excited to see, he kind of like runs and does like a little flutter and comes off the ground a little bit when he's like running to go see them. Okay, that's all. Thank you. More Dream SMP headcanons. Thank you for the support on the other ones. I love you guys so much. Michael can understand English, but he can't speak it. He just kind of oinks and he gets frustrated when people can't understand him. Techno can understand him, and that's why he likes hanging out with Techno. Rambo and Tubbo get Techno to translate, but Techno gets annoyed with it sometimes. Rambo and Tubbo sit back to back when Tubbo's crying so that Tubbo doesn't burn Rambo. Michael hugs Tubbo while he's crying because he knows Rambo can't. It makes Rambo sad that he can't comfort Tubbo that way. Phil brings like shiny gifts to his kids like a bird. The boys like to talk about the weirdest gifts he's ever brought them. Phil gets excited when Rambo leaves him like crass blocks and stuff because he thinks he's just giving him little gifts back. Rambo leaves random blocks in people's houses and Techno doesn't have the heart to get rid of his, so he just puts all of his dirt blocks in an ender chest. I'll update you as I have more.
Way too much, but now I feel